Well guys, I'm here to tell you that a wood splitter is always gonna be slower going forwards than it is going back. I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking to yourself, you know what, Andrew, I already know that. I figured that out at this point in my life. I know that it's faster going backwards. What's your point? My point is that when you put Autocycle on one of these machines, on a log splitter, on these commercial machines, you have to hold your hand on it until the wedge, or until the pusher has put the wood into the wedge, then you're losing a lot of time. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably saying to yourself, well, you know what, it's not a lot of time. It only takes a couple of seconds. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's a couple of seconds. Now, take this machine for example. There's a 5-second cycle time on it, and it's about 3.5 seconds going out, and about 1.5 seconds coming back in. So this is fast. That being said, if you take 2 seconds of that, you're looking at we'll say 2.5. Well, good even number, not that quick on my math. So you have a 2.5 seconds. That's 50%. That's 50%. That's 50%. If you need to hold your hand on that block of wood for 2.5 seconds until it's into the wedge and it's under control, that's 50% of your time. Think about that for a second. That's a lot of time, guys. Think about it. If you took all your wages, all your men's wages, and the time you pay out in labor and money, and you get 50% of it back. It's pretty easy math. It really is. I mean, that's a huge savings. And by all rights, like there's other companies that are making these log cradles on them now. Like a lot of companies have followed suit with this. It really helps out with safety. It makes the machine a lot safer having the log cradles on it, and then it makes that Autocycle worth so much more to you, because you literally set a block of wood and you can turn around, grab another piece and throw it in, or you can walk another couple of steps and go and grab it. Having the log cradles with the Autocycle is an absolute must in my opinion. You have to have it. It just makes it that much more efficient, that much better and quicker to do it. And you'll see other companies too. Most companies are pretty close. And most of these commercial splitters, you're going to be buying a good machine no matter what you buy. But the trick to this is having the width of it wide enough that you can have a substantial pusher there, a good sized pusher. You can see this thing's well supported all the way around it. It's supported both sides here. A lot of times you'll see we'll just have a spine in here. That doesn't work, guys. At some point running this machine, you're gonna make a mistake. It's inevitable. So if you have one spine and a big flat piece here, just one spine up against like that, and you have a piece of wood on the outside of that, you can just imagine how much leverage that's going to have on that. It's going to bend. It has to. It doesn't have a choice. There's a lot of power with these commercial machines. So that's one aspect you got to look at. So you have to have it wide enough that you can put a good chunk of steel in here that's supported, and then you also have to have this narrow enough that most wood is going to sit in there. Like obviously if you get a really small piece of wood, it's going to walk around in there with you, but most wood, I'd say 7 inches would kind of be your max there. 7 or 8 inches is going to sit in there comfortably for you and sand it off. Like the beam itself is 8 across there, so 7 is normally going to sit in there without a whole lot of play in there, and sand are not good for you. Anyways guys, I'm going to go ahead and run this machine for you and show you what I mean. Like I said, this is my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. It's from my own experience with working these machines, working on them and seeing the different ways of doing these. I really appreciate your support. It really does mean the world to us to have that many good people around us and supporting us and cheering us on here. It really does mean the world to us. And let me know what you think of it. Let me know what your take is on the log cradles and the Autocycle and that whole bit of it, because I'd love to hear from you, because we can't continue to grow and continue to learn if we don't get feedback and get other people's perspective and opinion on this. So let me know what you think. I really appreciate you showing up. If you haven't done so yet, give her a big thumbs up and a subscribe, and I'll keep putting out these wood splitter videos for you. Thanks a lot, guys. Well, as you can see, guys, if I would have had to hold my hand on every single one of those pieces of wood, we'd still be doing this. That's the difference. Having those log cradles, when you're into that wood, you can put through one pass. You will not find a quicker way to do it. especially with the Autocycle. And that being said, kind of brings me over to the other point. Like I said, there's other companies that are doing these and are doing a good job with them, and they're fantastic. The one advantage of having this is the Galtech valves on it, guys. Most every other company that's going to be selling you a machine with Autocycle on it's going to be running a Prince valve. I don't know how to say this without talking down on them. I run Prince valves. If you see the early Eastonmades, we used to run them. They're a cantankerous valve. If you've been around them, they're a hard thing to set. They sometimes don't work right. If they're hot or they're cold, the detents don't function right in them. These Galtech valves don't care, and you can set these valves a whole lot higher than what you normally would a Prince. Like a Prince valve, you might be able to get it to kick off at around 1,000 psi. You might get up to 1,100. So a lot of that stuff, you'd still have to sit there and hold the handle to actually get it to go through. So it's just counterproductive. With these Galtech valves, you can set these, if you want to have that forward detent at 2,500 psi, you just go ahead and set it there. It'll run it. It won't hurt it. It's going to run fine like that. So that's the biggest advantage of having a setup like this. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Give me some feedback. I'd love to hear from you. By all means, it really means the world to us to hear from you and know what you guys are thinking. So if you haven't done so, leave some feedback, give her a big thumbs up, and hit the subscribe button on the bottom, and we'll keep making these videos for you. Appreciate you tuning in.